Hi, everybody. Very quick video just to share the reporting timeline with you. I know that your team leaders have already probably shared it with you, but I just wanted to send out a video to explain a couple of things that may look a little bit different this semester. As you know, our priority for this year is to do as little change to the process or the product of the reports this year. But we also felt that there were some tweaks that needed to be made in order to make sure that the process feels a little more manageable, a little more efficient, and also that some of the steps are more logical. So there's a few highlighted things here that I want to talk briefly about. The first thing is the selection and grading of ATLs. Some confusion around that last semester. So what we've decided is that the minimum expectation for this semester is that general studies teams select the ATLs and give grades for the ATLs. And then they are shared with Jewish studies colleagues just to double check that there's nothing really that contradicts what they're seeing in the students. So a little bit of moderation there, but not overthinking it. And this is because those ATLs have been selected during the unit design process for units of inquiry. And we're not yet collaborating between general studies and Jewish studies, mainly in a way that would make it make sense to kind of decide those ATLs. So it doesn't feel authentic at the moment to do that. So we'll just honor the unit design process in general studies and the selection of ATLs, part of that, and then do what I said before, just to keep it simple. Of course, we're aiming in the future for much greater collaboration on units of inquiry. Second thing there is the entering of grades. That's all been shifted a bit further forward in the timeline. The team leaders all felt that it was a bit illogical to make the focus more about writing the comments before the grading has been the focus, because they all felt that you need the grades in order to write the comments. And the two, of course, have to work hand in hand. The comments really do have to elaborate on and explain and rationalize the grading. So we've shifted the grading further forward. And that then means that report writing day has a different feeling to it. Report writing day is fairly early on in the process, on the 6th of November. And so to make the focus for report writing day purely writing comments doesn't make sense. So what we want to make very clear to everybody is that you should use report writing day in order to get ahead and get a lot of work done. And that could look like analyzing assessments that you're using for your grades. It could involve assigning grades to students. It could involve entering those grades into Toddle and getting ahead with all of that. And then if you are at that point, then you can also, of course, use report writing day for writing sample comments. Now that also then has an effect on Jocelyn and emailing your comments to Jocelyn. So we've had to take the deadline out of report writing day. So you're not expected to email all your comments to Jocelyn by the end of report writing day. Instead, you've then got 3 further weeks to finish up writing your comments and send them through to Jocelyn. You can see here, there's a soft deadline of 17th of November. So I think it would be a good idea, or we all think it'd be a good idea for you to aim for the 17th of November and try and get them there to her by then. And then the hard deadline is Wednesday, the 22nd of November. And talked through this with Jocelyn. This will give her sufficient time. As you know, it's pretty quick with Jocelyn. Should give her sufficient time to get it all back to you so that you can do your editing based on her feedback in week 9. Jocelyn, though, would absolutely love it if you could send your comments to Jocelyn as soon as you're ready. So at any point in this process, when you're ready, just send them to her. Don't wait for either of those deadlines. Now, this, of course, does affect the sample comments. Please get those done in week 5 and share them with Liat and I so that we can give a quick bit of feedback. We've already done this in semester 1, so it shouldn't be that complex. Just look at your semester 1 comments, follow the same kind of format. And of course, remember to tweak the feeling and the language of the comments to suit the fact that it's the end of the school year. Then we've got the student written reflection comments. Again, there was a little bit of confusion last year about whether these should have reference to specific subjects, and particularly whether there should be reference to Jewish studies and the students' experience at school of Jewish studies and of being a Jewish student. And so we want to make it very clear that there should be content in the student written reflection that is specific to Jewish studies and the student's experience of being a Jewish student throughout the year. And this, again, depends on your level of collaboration between Jewish studies and general studies. So if you collaborate in a way that makes this make sense, please have the Jewish studies teacher and the general studies teacher in the room at the same time, guiding students through that reflection process. And if you're not currently collaborating in that way, then the basic minimum expectation really is that students write a reflection in general studies. That is what it is according to the guidelines. And then students write a report reflection in Jewish studies following the guidelines. And then we just put those together into one reflection comment. That was it, I think. Team leaders know this document really, really well. So any basic questions, any simple questions, they should be able to answer. And they may even be able to answer some of the more complex questions. If, though, there's a question that they're not sure about, then please feel free to reach out to me. And then also, if it's more of a technical thing, please reach out to Steve. All right, thanks. Have a great weekend.